The good people from Vaillant have just sent me this box, and inside this box is a brand new Vaillant ecoTEC Plus that will be available at your merchants from the 3rd of July. And today you get a chance to have a quick look at this boiler, its features and the full new ecoTEC Plus wrench overview. We have in a box, apart from the boiler obviously, is copper connections, exactly the same as in previous ecoTEC boiler, nothing's changed here. Boiler bracket and fixing screws, nothing's changed here, this is exactly the same. Boiler manual, valves. So this all looks the same. Pressure relief connection, isolating valves and a new gas cock, and that cock has a testing point on the gas valve itself, so that's new, so a minor change. New condense connection, and I know this condense connection has a built-in air gap in it as well, so new trap probably on the boiler, new condense connection. So at the first glance we can see that the boiler has exactly the same flue connection as previous generation of ecoTEC. All flues, existing flues, should fit it, no problems. It doesn't have a flap anymore, and it has something that looks like current sensor comfort controls as a main unit interface. Also, all the connections below are compatible with ecoTEC, existing range of ecoTEC. So those boilers are a direct swap for existing system boilers and existing combination boilers as well. What's different is the interface unit, lack of the front flap, which we were told, because the connectivity is so important and we've got wireless controls on this boiler, that flap would act as a Faraday cage. It just cuts the radio frequencies and makes the communication more difficult. You will also notice that the hinges below have been changed for much smaller hinges. Original ones were not that great, it was really hard to latch them on. As you can see, the case still has the same curve that original ecoTEC Plus have. However, in Europe, that case is flat. And apparently, the installers in the UK were consulted and they said, we don't want a flat case. It looks too much like one brand that we're competing against. So that boiler got released in Europe 2 years ago with the flat case, and 2 years later it got released with a curved case, and it seems that it took 2 years of consultation to agree on the radius of the case. Or maybe it was just COVID. Who knows? Let's have a look inside. So inside it's a very, very familiar boiler. Expansion vessel, same place, same layout inside. Heat exchanger is the same. We've got a logo, Vaillant logo on the front case of the heat exchanger now. That snorkel, silencer kind of a thing. That looks pretty similar to what you would find on the current line of 627s and a bit different of ecoTEC Plus. But not a major change. Fan looks the same. Gas valve looks way, way smaller. The gas train is upgraded, and I've noticed it's a bigger size, flexible connection. The gas cock now, not only it has a test point, it's not actually 100% full bore, but the bore inside is much bigger. So that's an improvement for your gas pressures, although you now are supposed to be testing it at the gas cock, so I'm not sure how much that matters. Pump and internal layout on the system boiler looks identical to what we are used to. Different plastic on the PCB housing, and also I think what we have now, you can lock that PCB in an open position. Let me see if I remember that correctly. When you open the PCB, that stays open. Now you have to unclick it to close it. So click it open, you can work on your PCB with no flap falling on your hands. And then just close it. PCB to me looks pretty similar to what it used to be. I think it's identical. I might be wrong, but it looks really similar to existing ecoTEC. So the new range of boilers from Vaillant, new ecoTECs, will have 4 new combis, and they'll be 826, 832, 836 and 840. We also have 6 new system boilers, and they are 610, 615, 620, 625, 630 and 635. And there's also one single 9 series, which is a storage combi, And the storage combi is 40 kilowatts, so a beast for hot water. All system boilers are rated for central heating and they have a higher output for hot water. So for example, if you've got a 10 kilowatt system boiler, it's going to give you 10 kilowatts for your central heating, but 19.6 kilowatts for hot water. This is obviously when it's used with Vaillant controls and set up as hot water priority. I've said it many times and I'm going to repeat myself. If you buy a Vaillant boiler, you should not be using third-party controls. You should not be using Nests or Hives or anything like it. First of all, it's not compliant with current regulation. Secondly, you're not using half of the feature that those boilers have. Thirdly, you're killing the boiler efficiency and you're shortening the lifespan of this appliance. So this is obviously a system boiler, but you can see what they've done on combis as well, what they've changed on combis that you can't see here. This is where the diverter valve will go on a combi or on a 4-pipe setup that I don't think are available in the UK, but they are available in Europe. And also, the plate on the combi boiler is front mounted for ease of maintenance. So this particular boiler that I chose for my own house is 10 kilowatt system boiler, and this should be the best selling boiler from all the system boilers Vaillant sells. Sadly, it probably won't be. Why am I saying it should be the best selling boiler? Reason being, majority of houses in the UK have heat loss below 10 kilowatts. The average is actually around 6 or 7 kilowatts. And there's no need to spend more money on a bigger boiler, upgrade the gas supply quite often for a bigger supply and spend money on that. Also, if you put a bigger boiler, your system's going to be less efficient. The boiler will cycle more. There's just absolutely no need. So kudos to Vaillant for actually taking this boiler into the right direction, not going bigger, but actually going smaller, from 12 kilowatts to 10 kilowatts, and also giving it better modulation ratio. And I wish I'll see the day that 10 kilowatt boilers are the best selling boilers in this country. So this all looks very familiar, but what is changing is connectivity. This is where this boiler is getting really, really good, because you can control it from a new Vaillant app. I'm really hoping that installers will understand that this is such a much better appliance when installed with Vaillant controls. The other change they've made is the detection of the combustion, because this boiler now can be changed to LPG without any conversion kits, and it has inside a new probe. They call it Vaillant ecoTEC, and that probe allows them better monitoring of the combustion, and the boiler can adapt to different quality of gas and as well different gases such as LPG. And also there are new fault codes on this boiler. Apart from your regular F codes, you get, I believe they're called N codes, and those codes will throw up the fault, but they will not stop the boiler from operating. They will go into what's called a limp mode, so the boiler will lower its output to allow you to still use heating or hot water while you organize the repair. So this is the first video from Urban Plumber's Garage series, and there'll be more videos from this garage where we will install this unit. We'll be testing all the features of this boiler and we'll give it also a long-term review. I will also be running this boiler in a hybrid with a Vaillant Aerotherm Plus heat pump. This boiler will be launched at the installer, so if any of you is going to the installer, I might meet you at the Vaillant stand. Thank you for watching, and remember, leave a comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.